you were saying that men are more ambitious than women, period.
In general.
Yeah, and I
Not
mean,
all the time.
in my life experience, I've witnessed women being more ambitious than men in quite a few cases. So I just think it depends on the person, but I think it definitely works better when the man is more ambitious than the woman. He respects
In what
himself.
ways do you see women being more ambitious?
School.
That's
Well,
important. Yeah.
I mean, I've been in relationships where I'm the ambitious one, and he emasculates himself, and then I it's hard for me to respect him. So it's just better when the guy
Were
is
you more educated than
ambitious.
him?
I believe so.
Did you earn more than he did?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So, and women tend to, lean on their education as to why they're more ambitious, but you guys got to remember that the education system in itself was designed, right? Sit down, be, control yourself, etc. It's not necessarily a environment for little boys to thrive. It's an environment for little girls to thrive. And the reason why is because the education system from elementary all the way until high school indoctrinates you to do what you're told, listen, be quiet, be a nice little slave. It basically sets you up to work.
Employee.
To become an employee.
Yeah.
Work
literally.
for 40 hours for 40 years, right? Per week, and get 40% of your top 3 years with a pension. Like, the education system in itself is more geared towards women because women are much better at following instructions. Not necessarily. It's easier to manipulate them. Does that make sense? So, like, for example, when the mask mandates came out, right? Who's the first ones to put the masks on? It's typically the females. I mean, there were a few rambunctious ones, but the most outspoken people with the pandemic were men. And that's because since the beginning of time, men were okay with pulling out their fucking sword and defending their beliefs with violence. Women don't have that ability. You guys are physically weaker, unfortunately. And I think that represents itself with your biology and how you think as well. So with that said, I get what you're saying. Like, oh yeah, I met women that are more ambitious. Yes, women dominate college attendance. Yes, women in general strive and earn more degrees than men. But if you look, like, men still dominate the blue collar workplace, which you still can make quite a bit of money in that women don't want to go into. So I would say if we're going to use ambition through the education system, for sure, you're correct. But if we're going to use ambition for working hard, doing manual labor that might not necessarily require a college degree, men beat women all day because women don't work these jobs.
And unfortunately, not all of them. I've unfortunately dated
None of them, like 90%.
I've dated some lazy men, unfortunately.
Of course.
And then I've dated
most men are bums.
more
I agree.
ambitious. I've dated ambitious, and it works better because the man respects himself more. I respect him more, and because so I was just born with ambition, but.
Yeah.
It's not attractive to men. I mean, not always. It's not like men's ambition is attractive to women.
Yeah, it's not. And most men will never actually admit that like, we don't give a fuck about your career or your ambition or your education. We don't give a shit because. How about this? I'll give you an example so girls can understand it. Let's say I told you, I got like an amazing sneaker collection. I got like Jordans from the 90s. I got some fucking, Nike Dunks, whatever. And I had like a whole closet and I collected them and I just had a bunch of them. And I also had like a bunch of designer belts. Would you care?
No.
Why not?
No.
Tell me precisely why you wouldn't care.
Well, actually, I would kind of be unattracted because I don't want to be with the guy who's obsessed with fashion that much.
Would it be fair to say that that's fairly feminine? To be that involved in fashion?
Yeah, I don't want to be with a man who's having feminine traits.
Pause right here.
Feminine.
See that feeling of I don't give a fuck and this is feminine?
Yes.
That's how we feel about ambitious women.
Yeah.
Because
I agree.
my sneakers, my belts, my fashion doesn't actually benefit you.
Right.
Just like your ambition and your money doesn't benefit me.
Yeah.
That's why men don't give a shit about it. And then also, if you add in all the other, traits of ambitious women, they tend to be more argumentative. They tend to be less agreeable. They tend to be, they don't have as much time for you because they're pursuing their career.
Well,
it's like I'm
of the
dating
woman,
another dude.
so
Like, we don't want to date another dude. What if you were with a guy that took longer than you to get ready every single time? You'd probably start to get annoyed and be like, what the fuck, you bitch?
Yeah.
Like, dude, be a guy. That's how we feel about women that are super ambitious. They tend to behave like men, and that's not attractive to us.
Right. So I think the solution, since I'm born with ambition, is to be with someone who's more ambitious. I have to find someone who's like,
which is hard to find sometimes
who
because
works harder and and it works better because if I'm working on my stuff, he's working even more on his stuff, and so. But it is hard. It's hard to find. Yeah.
Yeah, but the problem is that
Especially now you're
when you
35,
want a
so.
hyper masculine man, hyper-masculine men typically tend to be attracted to hyper-feminine women. So what girls don't get, right? And I kind of had this conversation. I've talked about this before with my sister. She's a doctor. You when you're an ambitious woman, you almost shoot yourself in the foot. And the reason why is because what ends up happening is you start to write a check that you can't cash. You make a bunch of money, you're successful, but in doing so, you masculinize yourself. And then the very men that you're competing for don't want you in return because they want a feminine woman. And on top of that, your price point's up. You make $100,000 plus a year. You need a guy that makes that kind of money. The guys that make that kind of money can date a girl that makes $10K per year, and we're happy.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where career women shoot themselves in the foot, and they don't even know it. They think, I'm going to pursue a career, I'm going to make a bunch of money. And this is why I say feminism lies to women. And then they're 30, 40 years old, and they're like, I'm still single, no guy wants me, what the hell's going on here?
48.
I have a house, I have money, I'm successful, I got a great 401k, why doesn't a guy want me? Because we don't want another us.
What should we do in the meantime?
Well, it's better when you
She
said, what do we do in the meantime? She said that.
Exactly.
Bare minimum.
I'm sorry?
You
What?
can't wait for
What
Lucy.
should we do in the meantime?
No,
Just-
for sure. Go to school, get an education. I'm not telling you not to do that, but what I am saying is that like
don't rely on it.
don't prioritize that. Like if you find a man, like I would say find a man when you're still young and beautiful, because as you get older, it gets harder and harder.
Yep.
I agree.
Ask
I'm
her.
taking my pussy to
It's
the
hard to-
grave, honestly.
Wait, what?
I feel like I'm taking my vagina to the grave.
I mean,
Come on.
it's already been.
I am traumatized with dating.
Oh, okay. You're gonna
Okay,
stay single
that
with me.
makes
sense. Oh,
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah,
You're gonna stay
okay.
single.
Not that situation. I dated other people after he's passed, but I'm just saying everything that you're talking about right now is stuff that I've dealt with. Not saying OnlyFans is a job to be proud about,
Oh, yeah,
but
that's even harder.
you get
Yeah,
true.
And you make your own money too.
300,000 a month. You get what I'm saying? And I've dated people with money, celebrities or whatever,
Wait, 300?
buying them stuff,
300?
you know, doing that, thinking that it's like, you know, at
Helping.
least you don't gotta, you get what I'm saying? Anything happen, at least you got, but no,
Down that
that
chick.
doesn't,
Wait, hold on. $300 a month.
300,000.
1,000.
So you're a millionaire.
Multi.
I made $4 million off of OnlyFans.
And you
far.
still single? That's crazy.
How
By
much?
choice, though. By choice.
By choice? Okay.
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
I've left
proves
every
my
dude I've been
point.
with.
Yeah, that just
Every dude that I've been with,
Yeah.
I've made more money than, or I've had more stuff than, and then it'll be something like he's playing video games. This, I swear to God, this happened. He playing video games, and I'm setting up a network, you know, writing shows and stuff, and I asked him a question to help me, because I'm about to move him from his house into a condo. This boy flipped out on me. I'm like, you're playing
maybe I need to
video games
open
that's
the
not paying
OnlyFans.
your bills.
He's playing Overwatch, man. Fortnite, man. Come on.
And that's when I left him.
He's in the match.
Well,
I'm like,
Was that the guy you were mentioning earlier that you could boss a guy up?
no, I bossed someone up. This is I was trying to boss
Wasn't
him
him.
up, but he
But you know what
he
you're doing
wasn't
though?
connecting.
You're bossing them up to leave you, because it's like at that point they feel insecure because
So
you're
true.
the one with the money.
Well, I
So they
left.
can't be a man.
Right. So true.
You're right. I got bored, and then it's like, you know, when he's up there,
No,
it's
he saw
just-
it coming before you realized it.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Do you feel because of your amount of money that you make that it's very hard for you to be submissive in a relationship?
No,
So you
I will do
still
anything
submissive.
for my man. I
Yeah,
know when to
nobody's
shut
getting
up.
what's
I
going
know-
on here.
Yeah.
Because she's successful and because of what she does for a living will make a man uncomfortable. Bottom line, there's no
Double
way
homicide, too.
around that. The other thing too is if when she bosses this person up, when women do a lot for a man, it makes a man weak. It's like he said,
Facts.
you bossing him getting ready for someone else, and he sees that, and he's like, well, once I get my car, once I get me a little bit more money,
I'm gone.
I'm out, and then that way I can be what I wanted to be with you.
But by
With somebody
myself.
else.
Somebody else.
Thank you.
That's
that's
why
fine.
when people work, they don't get bossed up. But when the guy drives a girl's car and he drops her off and he hides all her shit and put it in the truck to go pick up another woman to pretend that's his car.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? He's feeling like a man. You know, he gonna put incense in it. Bitch don't have incense in it, you know, air fresheners.
Crystals
He gonna
and
put
shit.
the seat back. He open the door for her, and sometimes the girl know it ain't his car, so she'll leave a bracelet or something in there for the other woman to know that the female's been in
I'm
his car.
here.
Exactly.
Question. You said
got it.
what was a double homicide? You made a comment about double
Oh,
homicide.
like, so I have an OnlyFans.
Uh-huh.
I dated someone that said they didn't want me doing OnlyFans, and I had to leave him because
Yeah.
that was my bread and butter.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then it's you know, just having more money. The
So her two things, for example, her job that she does and the money she makes, are two homicides towards any relationship.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It would kill it.
Yeah, understandable. Yeah, I mean, it's very difficult. I mean, if a girl's involved in any type of sex work, it's going to be a problem for
gonna be a
99% of men, and then as an entertainer, it's even harder.
And then the ones that are okay are the lazy ones.
Because you know what?
Yes.
You'll take care of
Yes.
them and,
Yeah.
and boss them
And
up.
I've done
Yes.
that.
So, question: what if you found a guy super successful that said, "Listen, babe, I'm gonna take care of you now. Quit OnlyFans. What you gonna do?"
I'm quitting.
Stop the cap.
I'm quitting.
But he would have to make. He would have to make what she makes and then some.
yeah.
He gotta make sure all my stuff that I already have going on can still be,
Yeah.
it can still roll, it can still go.
Yeah.
So
You
know
I'll
what?
quit in a heartbeat.
But you would give it
I'm
up.
going
though.
to take your position
would.
when you quick.
She said she's going to
I
take your
will
position
take
when you
you,
quit.
yeah, you quick.
I'm not gonna lie, that OnlyFans stuff, it makes money, but I wasn't in the right mental space during that whole thing. It's like I wasn't raised that way. It's
I'm
Be
glad
honest.
you said that.
Be honest, because I found this with OnlyFans girls a lot is that they'll make good money, right? And they're happy in the moment. But then they realize, yo, this
the
is
long
not
run.
what I wanted to actually do, but the money's good. And then they go home and cry, basically like, damn, I'm in this shit. And like, it's good money, but it's not what I really want to do.
Yeah, I've quit OnlyFans like a few times because of that same thing. It's like, yeah, you're making all this money, you got all the nice cars, you living nice and stuff, but at the end of the day, when you're going home and you're looking at what you do to make money, it doesn't feel good.
And then-
it could be the biggest slut whore. I don't give a fuck. She's putting on a mask.
Yeah,
100%.
absolutely.
Because I regretted it. Honestly, the only reason why I did OnlyFans was for the dude I was dating at the time.
And if you look at it, all the top OnlyFans girls have what? A manager managing them. 'Cause then
My manager was my boyfriend.
they get-
And he had a situation.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna put his business out, but he had a situation going on, and he needed some money. And I'm like, sure, I'll do whatever for my dude. And I started OnlyFans. We're not together anymore. And till this day, I'm like, dang. And I've been
Damn.
telling him, I ruined my life for you, in a respectful way, not to make him feel bad. I'm like, I loved you that much that I ruined my life for you. And I could honestly say I feel like I ruined
Yeah,
my life.
women do that for a lot of men.
You know
I
what?
agree.
I'll give you this. At least you know, and you
honest.
are willing to admit it
Yeah.
because we've had many girls on the show that are
Cat.
involved in whether it's OnlyFans or
Denial.
dancing or pornography, and they still sit there and try to argue with me and say I deserve a top tier guy, and I'm like,
Yeah.
sweetheart, look, you've ostracized yourself from the very men you want. The only guys that will take you seriously now is precisely what you said. The bums and the losers that you don't want in the first place a lot of the times. And that's because they look at it like, oh, this is a come up.
Right,
But,
absolutely.
yeah.
And
Unfortunately.
it's funny, Myra will tell the girls to their face, listen, here's an example of what happened to you. Move correctly. And then like, oh, you know what? I still want to try. I still want to do it. And then when they get into it, they're like, you know what? He was right. But it's too late.
Who? What girls that want to start OnlyFans?
Yeah.
All girls that come to me in my DMs and stuff, I told them no. They want. I
was
used to
gonna ask
manage
you that
girls.
next.
I used to manage girls. I used to manage a very popular porn star. She's her life. Now that she's off,
Yeah.
like I feel bad for her. Like I don't have sex on my OnlyFans. I don't do boy girl content. I don't show face. I used to like cover up my tattoos. Now I don't care. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you get what I'm saying? She was actually having sex and orgies and calling her the N-word. Like it's a wrap. Mentally, when I
committed.
talk to her after, it's been years since she's done content.
Their soul is gone.
It's
Yeah,
a
your
wrap.
soul's
It's
gone.
done.
I agree.
And I'm like,
That
thank
could
God it
ruin
didn't
you.
go that far.
And
Right.
all for money,
But-
bro.
And you know what's crazy? This is before OnlyFans. This was Pornhub. You know how much they were getting paid for hour-long scenes of getting rammed by 3 white men?
2K, 3K?
Not even. 1,500.
Yeah,
Damn.
like 1.5,
1,500.
yeah.
What the
You
hell?
gotta keep lubing your pussy up. Your pussy dry. You gotta make this money. You gotta keep lubing your coochie up. This white man is calling you. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
and you're making 1,500 to these random
Wow.
white people for an hour. Damn. Actually, longer than an hour because they edit it.
I mean,
You get what I'm saying?
Either that or
Her
Wendy's.
mental is
It's
gone.
gone.
It's gone.
Yeah, you gotta be built for that
And her
shit.
stuff, like there's stuff where there's it's businesses now where you could get lawyers and you pay them a monthly fee and they keep your content down. But that Pornhub back then, if you gave Pornhub content, you cannot get that down.
Yeah.
They
Wow.
own that.
Yeah.
That 1,500, you sold your soul over for that.
That's what Mia
1,500.
Khalifa
I
is
used to
going
be-
through right now. Mia Khalifa
That's
is like
done. You can never get that off the internet.
Yeah, I was a fan of
OnlyFans
Pornhub.
girls, y'all have a chance. You get what I'm saying? But if you was on that Pornhub XNXX, and like I said, to actually speak to a porn star, and during my mental break, because I had a mental breakdown over OnlyFans.
You see what's happening though? What are we seeing now in the news? They committed self-mutilation.
Yeah, committing suicide.
Yeah.
And
I was gonna ask her about
Wait,
that.
wait, wait.
Yeah.
Who's committing suicide?
Porn stars.
OnlyFans girls
Really?
and porn
Emily Willis,
stars. Yep, it's a few of them
no.
I've seen.
What's the name again?
I forget their names,
Forget
but
their
I've seen
names.
3 different
Yep.
stars
Same.
commit self-deletion recently on
Wow.
like
Yeah.
from this and
Okay.
yeah.
I
and
missed
you know
that.
what? They're depressed, really depressed though,
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
because that type of lifestyle can't keep it up forever.
Yeah.
So let me ask you
Right.
this: If a girl came up to you and said, "Hey, you make a lot of money, you're successful doing this. I'm thinking about getting involved in this industry," what would you tell her verbatim?
I actually had a show being filmed with girls coming for me to manage them.
Yeah.
And I told them no. And there was girls that were actually coming to me for me to help them whatever money they saved up from OnlyFans to get out, to start a business.
Wow.
So the girls that come to me for me to manage them, I told them no. I said I wouldn't recommend that. I'm like, I won't do it if you want to find someone else. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not going to.
Is there any success stories? Anybody get in, get out, and went on to live a happy life?
Yes.
Okay.
My manager.
Okay.